What's up, y'all? We are back for another Sunday sit down with Team Bay. I hope y'all got your sip. I got mine. I hope y'all got your sip. And we're gonna get into today. I am here with my business besties, Dr. B and
Hey.
Alicia.
How
And
you
we about to
doing?
get to it. All right. B, you want to go ahead and introduce today's topic?
I will. So today's topic is all about something we know a little bit about, connections, connecting with like-minded people, building community with like-minded people. And so I'm just going to jump in and ask, like, what in your view do you think is important about connecting with like-minded people, like individuals when like you're building a business or even in like your personal life? I know,
Let's
right?
Wow. Estee,
I
I think you better go first with this one.
You think I'm
No,
gonna
I
go?
can talk for days. So
All right. So connections, I think, are super, super important because really, when you connect with people, that's either going to make or break you because people like we might not think it, but who you are connected to has so much influence on what goes on in your world. So being connected to the right people, oh my God, it's so important. And it's I'm a pass it, Alicia. I'm a pass it.
I know this one is deep right here, right?
yes.
Because I feel like for me, when I'm connecting with people, it's a certain thing that I'm looking for. Like I'm strategic, okay? Especially, as we get older and a little bit wiser, I'm real intentional about what the purpose is for linking up with people, right? It's not, the time where we're just meeting people and just exchanging info. No, I need a certain type of energy. I need a certain type of, thing that I'm going after. And when I say thing that I'm going after, like what is going to be the commonality between us? I need to know all of that before I can say, you know what, I want to invite this person into my space and into my world. So that's me. I'm real picky with this. So it just
You are.
depends. Personally, I am. Personally, it depends on what the relationship is going to be. What I'm intending to get out of it. What am I intending to give? And I would say that it's the same for a business relationship, right? So if you are a new entrepreneur starting out, you want to start surrounding yourself with other like-minded individuals. If I am looking for a coach or if I'm looking into getting into another profession or a new profession, I'm looking for people who are either interested in the same type of industry that I'm interested in or someone that I can learn something from. I mean, what you got, B?
I mean, I think it's pretty much a mesh of what you guys said. I definitely think it's important because you want somebody to be able to be on your level or even a little higher because in order for you to be able to chase like those goals, whether it's personally, professionally, you need somebody who understands that, right? And so for me, it's funny because that almost segues into like the next question, which I'll get after I answer. But yeah, for me, there has to be that connection of like-minded goals. I don't need somebody to bring negative energy, right? So if I'm pushing for something, I don't want somebody like, nah, you can't do that, or that's not even possible. When I need a growth mindset, someone's like, have you tried yet? Like, let's see what can happen. And if it don't work, it don't work. But at least we know we tried. And I think that really does push you to even challenge yourself sometimes and step out there in ways that maybe you weren't comfortable doing because you need somebody to push you, right? And like Alicia, you kind of like went right into it because I was going to say, how do you know when you find your people? Right? How do you know when you find somebody? Like, is there a feeling? Is it you see them, you kind of observe them? Like for me, I know, right? It's a feeling, right? Because I mean, I joke about it. We're business besties now, but like, for me, I've learned that the people who I don't gravitate to the quickest are usually the people that I wind up becoming the closest with. And it's not for like dislike or anything like that. It's likely I've learned my psyche is like, take your time, right? Take your time, fill that out, see the whole thing. And that's how I know is when I don't rush to get into it, that's the bell that rings off for me. Like we have some kind of connection, even though I don't know it yet. There's something about this interaction that I need to pay attention to. So it causes me to take my time in getting in there. What about you, Alicia or Estee?
Do you want to go or you want me to go, Estee?
Girl, just go.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll take it after.
Okay, so yeah, I'm the same way. I wouldn't. Well, the way you described it, I describe it a little bit differently. I'm a quiet, say that, right? I'm introverted, extroverted. So I am definitely extroverted, but a lot of times I am reserved when I'm in an unfamiliar territory because I like to watch. Just like I told y'all a couple weeks ago, I like to watch. I like to see what's going on. And so that helps me get a feel of like the vibe. You know, I'm big on connection. I have to have some type of connection that is going to allow me to, first of all, be vulnerable because there takes a certain level of vulnerability for me to connect with someone else. Now, if we of course, I'm talking about on a deeper level. Okay. There are things that we connect on because we're like humans and things of that sort. But like for a deep connection, for a connection in which, like I told you guys, I'm in search of, I'm slow to see what's going on. And then after I feel comfortable and vulnerable enough to allow myself to open up to either speak to you or carry on a conversation or vice versa, I need that. And that doesn't come easily. So when I feel like I can just exhale and I can learn something, those are my people. When I'm vulnerable, I can learn something and I don't have to constantly have the guard up, then I know I'm in the right place.
That's good. And it definitely, there needs to be a level of inner peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain people you get around and it just don't be right. Like, it's just, I know I need to keep my distance.
Right.
But then there are certain people who there's just peace there when you meet them. Everything about them, it's just there's calmness and it's not all over the place. And like there are people who have big energy, but there's still like a calmness about them. You know what I mean? And so for me, I'm someone who will definitely, I'm gonna be in the background, I'm gonna watch, I'm gonna be quiet, and I'm gonna just observe. Just because of who I am, and that's just how I've been. And being able to understand all people, you gotta let people show you who they are. So that's the type of person I am. I'll be quiet and I let people just do them. Because eventually, if it's a front, they can only hold it for so long.
So long. Yeah.
They can only hold it for so long. So I love to just let people be people, and I just take my little mental notes, and I'm like, okay, I can fool with you, or I will note you are somebody I got to keep over there. All right, cool.
Right.
So this is real interesting to me. So all three of us are sit back, watch. How in the world did we start getting together then? Like, how does this even happen? Because I know the people out in the audience, like, so yeah.
Right. If all y'all,
if all three of y'all don't talk, like,
because we watched each other. Like I definitely know we've been in enough groups. Like I said, even if it was in Zoom, even if it was in person, we watched people. We are people watchers. We are naturally people watchers. And then eventually, it doesn't mean we're shy, right? Because introverts aren't shy. It's just I'm going to watch my scene and determine where I should best give my energy. Because everybody, I can't do lots of energy. And it's funny because Estee, you said there are people with these big energy, but they are like on it. I think that's all three of us. We have these
Mhm.
big energies when we go into a room, but we also know how to turn it off and go up to the corner, right? Like I'm done, I'm good, let's go. But in that big energy, we don't use it on everybody. And so I think that being an observant person, we determine who gets that energy. Because, I tell people all the day, I go to a holiday party at my job. Everybody knows I was there, but they don't know I left 15 minutes after I got there because I did what I had to do. I went around, made my circle, networked, and then I was out because too much. It's too much for me, like for a long period of time. But yeah, I think that's kind of how it worked. That three observers turned out to be business besties.
Right.
Y'all recruited me. That's what I feel.
Oh,
I feel
please.
like y'all recruited me. You two were together, ha ha, and having a great time.
No,
And
actually,
then
well,
somehow I got in the
well,
mix.
time out. Because remember, you and Estee were the ones on the Zooms during the day, and y'all were in the group chat together on the WhatsApp. Then I came in on the WhatsApp. So actually, y'all recruited me. So
Oh my
boom.
goodness.
It sounds like Estee responsible because she was in both groups, okay?
There you go.
Don't blame it on her.
Blame it on me. I'm the connection. I'm the connector in the
He's the
middle.
connector, right?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
That's not
Yeah.
a bad thing, right? Because
It
you are technically our connector. Because you know how we always talk about you got two crazies, we got two Aries, and we need your calm in the middle because we need you to bring us down sometimes.
I am the calm. I am the calm.
Until she's not.
Well, we connected in Cancun, really.
We did.
Connected us because we were like
Yep.
two of the first people there,
Yep.
and I couldn't get into my room yet. And we were
Yep.
just kind of vibing, and the vibes were cool. It was chill. It
That was
worked.
it. It literally started with, and if you're a foodie out there, sometimes it starts with a meal because that was
Yeah,
the first thing we did in Cancun.
we found some food.
Found some
Okay,
food.
so I hear y'all saying like how you started, but how do you maintain it? How do you keep that connection going after you meet somebody, whether it's personally or professionally, and you guys link up and you exchange information from that point? How do you keep the conversation going and how do you nurture those relationships?
I think for me, and it's not my strong point, but something I've definitely been working on is you have to try, right? You have to put in as much effort as you want out of it. So if that's me texting, calling, like checking on people, I know I'm gonna check on y'all, right? But you have to actually put in the effort that you want in return. And I've learned that reciprocity piece to it. So I think that's really it. And then
Baby,
like,
let me take
being
these
able to, huh?
You
Um,
said reciprocity. I said, baby, let me take these glasses off. Come on with it.
come with it because that's what it's all about, right? If I want to give as much as I expect to get in return, and so that means I need to nurture you just as much as I want you to nurture me. I want to be able to fill your cup as much as I want you to fill mine because they always you can't pour from an empty cup, but you also can't ask to be or expect to be filled if you're not filling somebody else's. So for me, I think that's what's important is to make sure that I am at least giving as much as I want to receive.
Oh, that's
Mm.
good because essentially, especially in this time where social media got everybody on cancel culture and oh,
Right?
you didn't text me first, so I'm not texting back. Like all of that stuff got people all jacked up, and I had to, for myself, really think, okay, really, you need to treat other people how you want to be treated. And when you stop really focusing so much on what am I getting out of it as opposed to what am I giving?
Right.
Because as you give, you receive.
Okay.
What you put
Absolutely.
out there comes back to you. So I had to start making a conscious effort to really put into the relationships because I met y'all at a time where my life was just going through a lot. And a lot of the relationships that I did have, they started kind of dwindling away, and it was a lot going on, and it was just like, okay, so where do I go from here? And
Mm.
I couldn't bring any of that baggage in here and think that carrying all of that was going to help any type of situation. So I had to make a conscious decision. What do I want to get out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I want these people to be in my life? Do I even want these people in my life? And if so, what do I need to bring in order to make this work?
Right. And I think, you just made room for us. That's all. You dropped them other people so that we could jump in. That's all that was. That's all it was. You need to make room. It was too many. It was too many. They're overcrowding.